fact that, you know, they kind of mess up at the end of games and they give it away, but that has not been the case these past 2 weeks. Thanks to Justin Herbert, Joe. I mean, what is your just impressions overall of what you saw tonight from him?
Well, it's the composure. It's the poise with which he plays down the stretch in the most critical moments in the game. I mean, we ask him about the back-to-back quarterback sneaks, and most young quarterbacks, when they get their number called on another quarterback sneak after it didn't work the first time, are probably going to have a lot of trepidation. But we heard Justin Herbert talk about how happy he was that the coaches believed in him, how excited he was to prove them right and get into the end zone the second time, which he did. It's that belief in himself that you see that keeps showing up on the field in those big moments. And, man, Chargers got to be really happy with who they got playing quarterback right now and for many years into the future.
Yeah, boy, you're not joking about that, man. He was incredible. Really, really fun to watch. I mean, there were a couple of plays, and you saw that touchdown to Ty Johnson towards the end of the first half. The play before that, they ran a dart in a 7 route. In the corner, came up on the dart, which he should have played back and played the 7 route. He came up on the dart. Justin Herbert hit the 7 route perfectly. The second time around, on that touchdown, the corner played it perfectly. The corner said, no, time considering, I'm going to drop back and play the corner route. And Justin Herbert zipped it right by his ear because that was the moment to take a shot at the end zone. It shows you when you are right, he makes the right read and he beats you. Even though you are right. It was an incredible job watching this young man play. And I can't stress it. I just want to see him grow. If he can have an all season, studying more of this system, going over every play he made. When we talk about those 7 one-score games they lost, they'll turn at least 5 or 6 of those into 1-score or more victories, as long as he gets the chance to continue working on the path he's working.
I agree with you, Irv. He does need to have some familiarity, and changing that coaching staff completely is probably not the best thing for his growth long term. However, we cannot negate that the Chargers also struggle defensively, even though they have a pretty stout defense, but they just can't seem to get off the field in the third and fourth quarter. They just are exhausted being on the field. So I would suggest, more than anything, if they're asking me, they're probably, which is keep Anthony Lynn, but please maybe change up some coordinators and get some people in there that can get the best out of some of the players that they have, because they just don't seem like they're doing Justin Herbert. It seems like they're doing him a disservice by the way the defense is playing late in the games. That's really tiring out this team overall.
Well, it looks like they certainly found a quarterback at least.
A better run game can help that defensive situation, and I understand that. But right now, even though what you are getting is work. We're giving Justin Herbert work in the passing game. We tack on a good running game to the work he's getting this year in the passing game. I'm telling you, it reminds me a lot of our 90 Cowboys. We were right there on the edge, and I'm so glad nobody made changes, because right after that, 91, 92, we went into dynasty mode. I'm just saying, you see something great with this young kid. I don't want to be cheated of seeing this growth.
No, and we saw a lot of that tonight. We'll continue to see it as well. Some tweaks here and there definitely need to be made. There's no question about that. But Justin Herbert, he's gracious. He's poised under pressure. He's confident. And he looks obviously like the future. He had to settle for the field goal to take the lead. And then the DPI call here on Trayvon Mullen. So that helped them out as well. And Justin Herbert, I mean, just the bomb right there to Jalen Guyton, 53 yards. They get down to the goal line. Justin Herbert, he fumbles here. The Chargers, though, they recover, but since it's overtime, it is not a touchdown. They do it again. Justin Herbert punches it in. This time they get the win, 30-27. So another one gets away from the Raiders.
You know, really proud of our team. We lost a lot of men tonight and had a lot of men missing, and thought Mariota came in, did a great job. It's unfortunate we couldn't find a way to win that game at the end. It's on me, and I will say I apologize for not having the right hat on. Somebody played a pretty good trick on me, but I'll answer any questions that I can.
Do you have any update on the severity of the groin injury that Derek Carr suffered?
No. I don't believe it's a real tear, but obviously if he can't finish the game, it's got to be pretty significant. The concussion to Renfro hurt us a lot also. We're already missing Ruggs. So it was tough, but I'm really proud of our coaches and our players. We did a lot of good things tonight, but you got to win these tight games, and oftentimes that's a reflection on the head coach.
For a while there, it really looked like Marcus Mariota was going to be able to get this Raiders team to a win. It was not to be tonight. He had the touchdown. He did have the interception, but he did chase down Chris Harris Jr. for the tackle there, so they wouldn't have even been in overtime if that wasn't the case. Irv, what did you think of Mariota and his performance coming in and filling in for the injured Derek Carr?
I thought Mariota did a great job. And I know we could talk and look at his numbers and see he threw for over 200 yards and he had a touchdown, and everybody talking about the way he moved that ball down the field and then was able to use his legs to run for some first downs, some tough first downs, some big first downs. And everybody will talk about that interception. I'm telling you. And in the film room, in the study room, as they look at that interception, they'll tell Zay Jones. You heard Coach talk about how much they miss Renfro, because that's what makes Renfro so great. He doesn't know just how to get open. He knows the timing of getting open. Zay Jones went a little early on that route, and he took that route inside. That's why when Mariota came back to throw to a spot, Zay Jones was a little too far inside to make that ball look like it was behind. Right here, take your time a little bit, son. Let the defense drop out, and all he had to do was hook up, and that ball would have been right on his chest, and he went a little too far inside. We'll give it to the quarterback. That's what we do. But I thought Mariota did a fabulous job to say, I want to start in this league. If not here for the Raiders, somebody see that tape and get me a starting job.
88 yards rushing for Mariota tonight on 9 carries, but he really didn't get
a whole lot of help. That 88, and they got that 88 in there.
From this defense. The Raiders defense, obviously we knew it was an issue coming in to this game. They fired Paul Guenther right after their loss to the Colts last week, and as you can see, the numbers right here, weeks 1 through 14, and tonight, still, let's see, bad versus bad. So not a whole lot of improvement. It was a short week. I'm not really sure what everybody expected with Rod Marinelli stepping in and a slew of Raiders defensive players being out tonight, but it was not better. And Steve, how do you fix this?
Oh, yeah, Steve.
How do you fix it, buddy? Show us the way.
Let me tell you,
Steve,
I know we did a
none of that
pregame
stuff I
about
said
this.
at work. I knew you were going to try.
Look, you can't out-scheme lack of talent. You just can't do it. You can draw it up, and you can, this guy gets this guy and that guy. It don't matter if you can't cover. You got one starting corner, they picking on him. All he's doing is pulling on people's clothes. He owes Justin Herbert and that offense for the Los Angeles Chargers. He owes them bus money. Bus money, because those free rides he was getting off those receivers when he was tugging on them. You get arrested for getting on a public bus transit system like that, sneaking on the bus without paying your fare.
Mullen.
That's illegal, son. That's why they were throwing the flag.
Joe, what do you think about this?
They need to change it. What do you got, Joe?
Yeah.
And where's my gift basket while we at it?
It's in the mail, by the way. I just ordered it, and you're going to love it. It is a multi-dimensional gift basket. You are just going to really love it. But that's different than what we're going to talk about here. Because, you know, the conversation all week out of Raiders camp was Rod Marinelli's going to get these guys playing harder and faster, as if Paul Guenther was coaching him up to not play hard and not play fast. You're exactly right, Steve. This is a player's game. If you don't have the talent, especially on defense, there's nothing you can do. There's no X's and O's out there that are going to overcome a lack of talent and a high amount of injuries. I will say, Rod Marinelli, he did have one really good call tonight. I think it was 3rd and 2 on the 25-yard line, and the Chargers had an opportunity to convert. And Rod Marinelli, he blitzed to the quarterback's right-hand side. They got their only sack of the night. They pushed the Chargers back, and then they ended up kicking a field goal from there and missing it, which allowed them to go into overtime. So you got to say, hey, man, he at least had one good call that, I don't know, maybe Paul Guenther would have made it. Maybe he wouldn't have. But at least you got to give a little credit where credit is due. But none of the issues that they had that got Paul Guenther fired were solved today. They only had one sack, which is about what their average is. They weren't really good at stopping the run most of the night. They couldn't get off the field. So really, it was more of the same with a different guy's name in the defensive coordinator box in your books there that you were looking at, certainly.
Hey, Joe. I haven't seen a guy snitch and switch up stories as fast probably since I was watching the last episode last night of 48 Hours. I mean, you done flipped the script. You done told the cops everything. Before the game, you were talking about things are going to change. Now all of a sudden, you snitching. You done flipped the script. Now you with Uncle Smitty. You know, I'm your alibi.
I was thinking the same thing,
I ain't your alibi.
I was thinking
I'm
the
not
same
your
thing.
alibi.
Wow.
I mean, it was a smooth transition, too. It was a smooth.
I don't know, Joe.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.